So the Navi tells us, "Vayasef od David kol bachur Israel 30 aleph." David gathered 30,000 men. For what? Because the Plishtim, they took the Aron, so they have to get the ark back. So what does it say? ויקם וילך דוד כל העם משייתו מבעלי יהודה לעלות משם את אהרון האלוקים אשר נקרא שם השם צבקות יושב בקרבים עליו. He went from Baalei Yehuda to bring from there the Aron, and they placed the Aron where? ויקרבו את הארון האלוקים על העגלה חדשה. They put on a new wagon. Okay. מבית אבינדב אשר בגבעה ועוזה ואחיו בני אבינדב נוהגים את העגלה החדשה. Okay, so they get the Aron, they put on a new wagon, and they carry it from the house of Avinadav. And Uzzah and Achio is the son of Avinadav, the Kohen Gadol. They guided the new wagon. But what happens? ויסעו מבית אבינדב אשר בגבעה עם הארון האלוקים ואחיו הולך לפני הארון. They carried it, and Achio was walking in the front. David וכל בית ישראל משחקים לפני Hashem. David and the entire house of Israel dancing in front of Hashem, before Hashem, with instruments, harps, lyres, drums, timbrels, cymbals. They came to ויבואו עד גורן נחון, וישלח עוזה אל הארון אלוקים, ויחז בו ושמטו הבקר, ויכעף השם בעוזה, ויקראו שם אלוקים על השל, ויעמוד שם עם הארון אלוקים. Tragedy happened. What was the tragedy? They came to this place, and it looked like the Aron was going to fall, and Uzzah went to go grab the Aron because he thought it was going to fall. Anger of Hashem burned against Uzzah, and Hashem killed him. He died. He died right then and there.
Is this because they weren't transporting correctly, or?
So we're gonna see the mistake was over here in a second. But the problem was that he thought that the Aron needed to be saved. And bless you. And it's not that the Aron needs to be carried, it's the Aron carries us. We learned in Sefer Yeshua that the Aron actually carried the Kohanim across the Jordan River, miraculously. And they never felt the burden of the Aron. The Aron always gave them strength. So Uzzah was making a mistake by thinking that the Aron needs to be saved and carried and lifted and prevented from falling, when it's totally the opposite. And also, the sages teach us this in a spiritual sense, that whoever supports the Aron, carries the Aron financially, supports Torah. It's not that the Torah needs your donation. The Torah would have found other donors. It's the fact that you give to the Torah actually supports you. The Torah actually gives you more blessing because you supported it and you carried the burden of it. Okay, so why is King David getting 30,000? So the Yerushalmi tells us that in preparation of bringing the Aron to Yerushalayim, David was in the middle of changing his capital to Yerushalayim, to his throne in the Yerushalayim. So David appointed 90,000 elders that day. Even though the pasuk says he got 30,000 men, it was actually 90,000, because the word vayasef means increase, and the extra word od means double. So actually 2 times more what he already had, which was 30,000. So 2 times more is 90,000. So he already got 30,000. Then there's vayosef and the word od. So one more time 30,000, 60,000, and another time 30,000 is 90,000. But now he got a new wagon. The pasuk says they got a new wagon for the Aron. Why did he get a new wagon? So the Gemara Moed Katan says that during the time that Eli was Kohen Gadol, the Aron was captured by Pelishtim. And they held it for a short time, and then they gave it back to the Jews on a wagon, right? They put on the wagon, and the cows were singing, and the cows went by themselves all the way back to Israel. So they remained in Kiryat Yarim at the house of Aminadav. So when the Pelishtim sent back the Aron on the wagon, the Jews didn't want the Plishtim's wagon. So they got a new wagon finally. And they brought it to Yerushalayim. But the commentaries say, the Gemara Sefer Kohet Katan says it's not a new wagon. It means that David used the same wagon upon which the Aron was rested all those years. The fact that they didn't make a new wagon teaches that it would be disrespectful to transfer the Aron, even though it was supposed to be to go to a new wagon. Just like it's not proper to transfer the body of a Chacham from one coffin to another when taking him out to burial. The fact that very, very special artifacts, you don't just carry them around in public. You have to be very, very respectful to it, right? When you move very precious items, you need white glove service. You don't get random movers. So here, also, they don't want to disrespect the Aron by putting in a new wagon. So it means that there was the same wagon actually. Okay. Then our pasuk says that the pasuk says they shall carry the Aron on the shoulder. But the question is, the Torah says the Kohanim have to carry the Aron. What are they doing putting on a wagon? So it was a mistake. Actually, the Chazal tell us in Yerushalmi, Sanhedrin, that it was a mistake that he let the Aron be carried in a wagon. Because of the mistake, when the Kohanim tried to load the Aron into the wagon, the Aron kept lifting the Kohanim into the air and throwing them on the ground. So not realizing why this was happening, David sent a message to Achitophel. Achitophel didn't want to answer because he wasn't appointed to one of the 90,000 elders David made that day. So Achitophel was upset at him. David said, whoever knows how to settle this problem, in the end, and does not settle it, will be strangled. He cursed whoever doesn't help him. Achitophel finally said that if he slaughters offering to Hashem in front of the Aron, it will settle. David did so, and the Aron finally went on the wagon. For this reason, when David brought the Aron the second time, he did korbanot right away, because he didn't want this mistake to happen again. So what happened? So now we know why the Aron looked like it was going to fall, because the Aron was not supposed to be on the wagon. The Aron was supposed to be carried by the Kohanim. So now, when the Aron started to shake the wagon, and the Aron looked like it was going to fall, Uzzah ben Aminadav, who was walking next to it, reached out and grabbed the Aron. He immediately fell dead. Now David was upset about the death of Uzzah. Achitophel said, you made a mistake. You should have realized that you're not supposed to put it on a wagon, you're supposed to carry it. And when Moshe gave wagons and oxen to the Leviim, that was for the Mishkan and the utensils, but not for the Aron. Well, you don't know basic Chumash? You never studied Leviticus? David learned from his mistake. When he brought the Aron the second time, he made sure everybody carried it on the shoulders. You see? Sometimes people want it easy. They want, we have a wagon, let's use the wagon. No. For the Torah, we should carry it. We ourselves should be... whenever it comes to the Torah and honoring the Torah, you shouldn't let other people do it. You should grab the mitzvah yourself. The person should be willing to carry the burden himself. Uzzah made a mistake. He touched it with his bare hands. That's why the pasuk says, Allah shal. What does it mean, Allah shal? According to one opinion, is sotah. Shal means he shouldn't have touched the Aron. Other opinion says shal means that Uzzah relieved himself in front of the Aron. He thought it was okay to go on the side and go relieve himself while the Aron was being carried. That was a disrespect, and some say that was the reason why he died also. You should know whenever you're in a special place, you have to conduct yourself in a special way, right? For example, in the laws of Shulchan Aruch, it says in the Beit Knesset, you can't smoke, right? You can't, in an halakha, you can't sit in a certain way in shul. You have to not speak mundane things in shul. If a person has to know, all this is respect to the Torah and the prayers. Or in a cemetery, right? You can't do things to disrespect the dead. You can't do mitzvot in front of them, right? Smoking also in a cemetery. Cemetery has a status of Beit Knesset also. So a person has to know that it's a sin to show disrespect to these places by not giving them kavod. בית המקדש? בית המדרש, יכול להיות, כן. כמו שמותר לתלמידי חכמים לאכול, גם. לא, אם זה, יש דין בית כנסת, לא. היה פעם שלא חשבו שזה לא בריא, וגם היה פעם שחשבו שזה עוזר ללימוד. כי זה עושה את הראש שקט. אבל עכשיו שזה לא בריא, וגם זה סטייל כזה כמו חפיף שמעשנים, אז זה לא צריך להיות בבית כנסת, זה לא צריך להיות בבית כנסת. וגם מפריע, אבל היה תקופה שכולם היו מעשנים בתוך הבית גם.
מילא עכשיו יש חוק, אפשר בתוך...
בדיוק, 100%.
But do you want to listen to music by a cemetery?
Listen to music by a cemetery?
Like he's passing by.
No, that's fine. It's the problem is inside. Okay, now the sages tell us in the Midrash, 3 gifts were given to the Jewish people, and when they complained, and and thinking they only could get punishment. For example, Hashem showed them that it could bring great blessing as well. One of them is the Aron. When the Aaron came at the Bet Shemesh, the Jewish people were filled with joy. But many people in Bet Shemesh died as a punishment because they disrespected the Aaron. Years later, when they brought the Yerushalayim on a wagon, another tragedy happened. Uzzah died. This led to the Jewish people to think the Aaron brings them punishment. So you see, the Aaron is good, but the Aaron has a lot of responsibility. And the Jewish people said, oh, dealing with the Aaron is so hard. We always make a mistake, and look, people die from the Aaron. But it brings us so much so much tragedy. However, after the story with Uzzah, the Aaron was stored in the house of Oved Edom, a man named Oved Edom. And B'zchut, the Aaron was in his house. He became super wealthy and had a lot of bracha. He had a lot of blessings in his house. So when people saw this, they realized, no, the Aaron gives a lot of bracha. You just have to treat it right. So people used to say, I don't want to be next to Aaron. Let the Aaron stay away because it's going to bring us a lot of damage. But the people who were treating it right, they got a lot of blessing. So what happened? David got upset because Hashem killed Uzzah. So he named that place called Peretz Uzzah. David got scared from Hashem. He's look, Hashem killed somebody when we bring the Aaron. How can I bring the Aaron to the Yerushalayim, to the city of David? So David didn't want to bring it to Ir David. Vayitehu David et bet Oved Edom agiti. He put it in the house of Oved Edom. And the Aaron stayed there for 3 months. Vayivarech Hashem et Oved Edom et chol beto. He got blessed. What did he get blessed? What? Oved Edom? I'm not sure. What is the bracha did he get? What bracha did Oved Edom get? The pasuk says he got blessed. So the Gemara says Oved Edom didn't have to give the Aaron food, and he didn't have to give a drink. It was a guest in his house, but he didn't have to give him food. All he had to do was keep the area for the Aaron clean. And what did he do? He got a bracha. Imagine how much more so if a person brings Tamid Chacham to his house, and he feeds him, and he gives him to drink, give him to eat, let him sleep in the bed. He will be blessed. How much more so from Hashem? What did he get blessed with? According to one opinion, his wife Chamot and her 8 daughter-in-laws gave birth to sextuplets. What does that mean? 6 kids. So his wife, 6 kids. And his 8 daughter-in-laws, he had 8 sons, they all got 6 kids. What's 8 times 8? And not 8 times 6? 48. So he got 48 grandchildren, and he had 6 more children. But another opinion, Oved Edom's wife and his 8 daughter-in-laws gave birth 6 times in 3 months. In the course of 3 months. Interesting. According to second opinion, each of the 8 daughter-in-laws gave birth to 2 children each month. Throughout the 3 months, each daughter-in-law was tameh for 7 days, tahor for 7 days, and she still gave birth. Total, he had 62 children and grandchildren in his house.
A big family photo, Rabbi.
Yeah, huge. And all of this in 3 months. In 3 months, the Aaron was in his house. Look how much bracha he got. How much more so if we bring the Tamid Chacham to our house. Baruch Naolam.